Who has believed our message? That's the question asked in Isaiah 53, a prophecy written centuries before Jesus walked the earth. And it's a question we're answering today. The Bible contains over 300 prophecies that Jesus fulfilled during his life, death, and resurrection. Each one is a divine fingerprint, undeniable proof that he is exactly who he claimed to be, God in the flesh. We're going to dive into some of the most astonishing predictions, from his miraculous birth to his agonizing death. But stick around until the end because we're saving one of the most jaw-dropping prophecies, a timeline so precise from the book of Daniel, it pinpointed the exact day of his arrival as Messiah. It's a prophecy so certain, Jesus himself said, that if people didn't proclaim it, the very rocks would cry out. Let's start at the beginning, his birth. Centuries before a stable in Bethlehem, the prophet Isaiah declared, "Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel." Isaiah 7:14. Emmanuel, God with us. Not only that, Micah 5:2 specifically named the humble town of Bethlehem Ephrathah as the birthplace of this future ruler. This wasn't just Bethlehem, but the particular Bethlehem, distinguishing it from others, the ancestral home of David despite its small size. A virgin birth, a specific humble town, fulfilled perfectly in Jesus. Then consider the unusual journey to Egypt. Just as God called Israel out of Egypt, Hosea 11:1 foretold, "Out of Egypt I called my son." And indeed, to escape Herod's wrath, the infant Jesus was taken to Egypt before returning to Nazareth, fulfilling yet another ancient word, and echoing the history of Israel itself. Now let's fast forward to the heart of the gospel, his suffering. Isaiah 53, a chapter written 700 years before Christ, paints an incredibly vivid picture. He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain. He was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. Psalm 22 adds even more harrowing details. "They pierce my hands and my feet, they divide my clothes among them, and cast lots for my garment." Every agonizing detail, from the method of execution, to the Roman soldiers gambling at the foot of the cross, foretold with chilling accuracy. And what about his identity? When Jesus asked the Pharisees, if the Messiah is the son of David, why does David by the Spirit call him Lord? Matthew 22, he was quoting Psalm 110:1. Jesus was making a profound point. The Messiah was not merely a human descendant, but divine, existing before David himself. This hints at his true nature, powerfully confirmed when he boldly declared, "Before Abraham was, I am," claiming the very divine name God gave to Moses in the Old Testament. And who is this Messiah? Daniel 7:13 gives us another profound clue. "I saw in the night visions, and behold, with the clouds of heaven there came one like a son of man, and he came to the Ancient of Days and was presented before him." Jesus often referred to himself as the Son of Man, directly linking himself to this powerful divine figure who would receive everlasting dominion. This wasn't just a humble title, it was a profound claim to ultimate authority. This claim was so important that when the high priest demanded, "Are you the Messiah, the Son of the Blessed One?" Jesus responded with a stunning claim that directly referenced this prophecy. In Mark 14:62, Jesus said, "I am." and you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One, and coming on the clouds of heaven. Here, in the most critical moment of his trial, facing death, Jesus confirms his identity as the Son of Man from Daniel's prophecy, not just a figure from the past, but the one who will return in glory to judge the world. Now for the prophecy that leaves no room for doubt. The one so specific, it's almost unbelievable. In Daniel 9, the prophet is given a vision of 70 weeks, a divinely appointed timeline. Many scholars, through meticulous calculation based on historical decrees to rebuild Jerusalem, believe that 69 of these weeks, that's 483 years, would pass from that decree until the arrival of the Messiah, the Anointed One. They pinpoint this, not just to a year, but to the very day. And what happened at the precise culmination of that timeline? Jesus rode triumphantly into Jerusalem on a donkey, fulfilling Zechariah 9:9. Rejoice greatly, daughter Zion. Shout, daughter Jerusalem. See, your king comes to you, righteous and victorious, lowly and riding on a donkey. The crowds, filled with a divinely inspired fervor, recognized him, laying down cloaks and shouting, Hosanna! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. A direct acclamation of his divine kingship, praise typically reserved for God alone. But here's the most profound part, underscoring the absolute certainty of this prophecy's fulfillment. As some Pharisees objected to the crowd's worship and told Jesus to rebuke them, Jesus declared in Luke 19:40, I tell you, if these were silent, the very stones would cry out. Think about that. The arrival of the Messiah, the fulfillment of Daniel's ancient precise prophecy, was such an earth-shattering, divinely ordained event that if humanity failed to acknowledge it, creation itself, the very ground beneath their feet, would burst forth in praise. So, when you see hundreds of prophecies, from specific birth details like Bethlehem Ephrathah to agonizing death, from divine titles to a precise timeline culminating in his triumphant entry, all fulfilled in one man, Jesus of Nazareth, how can anyone deny who he is? The evidence is overwhelming. The Bible, written by dozens of authors over thousands of years, weaves a single, consistent narrative pointing to Jesus as the Son of God, God in the flesh. He didn't just fulfill prophecies, he embodied them. He is the Lamb, the King, the suffering servant, the Son of Man, Emmanuel, God with us. The question isn't whether the prophecies point to him, it's whether we will believe the message just as Isaiah asked and allow the undeniable truth to transform our lives.